Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we are discussing from two verses, the 12th and the 13th verses of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ko avrishyat tava padam strin saurabheya chatushpada ma bhuvam stvadrisha rashtre rajñam krishnaanuvartinam. The meaning of this 12th verse is, he, Maharaj Parikshit, repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull thus: O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your 3 legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. So Parikshit was very pained to see the condition of the bull suffering because it had lost 3 of its legs. It was somehow wobbling along on one leg. So he's questioning, who has done this? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says in the purport, the kings or the executive heads of all states must know the codes of Lord Krishna. And the codes of Lord Krishna generally mean the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. 2 scriptures are enough. Though there are varieties of scriptures, many scriptures, but for the present age of Kali Yuga, these 2 scriptures are very important and enough for understanding the codes of the Supreme Lord Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. They are both described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna Katha. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Katha spoken by Krishna himself. Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha spoken about Krishna by Krishna's pure devotees. So that is these are the 2 scriptures which are very important. So the king or the executive head must act accordingly in order to fulfill the mission of human life. And what is that mission of human life? Which is to make an end to all miseries of material conditions. Human life is a definite goal and a definite purpose, as described in the scriptures. That we should put an end to all miseries of material existence. And Bhagavad Gita summarizes these miseries under 4 headings. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Janma means the misery of birth, taking birth in this material world. Mrityu means death, the misery of death. Jara means the misery of old age, invalidity due to old age. Old age doesn't mean just having some wrinkled skin or some general weakness. No, it means the invalidity. And there are many symptoms of old age which are making life very difficult. And 4th one is Vyadhi. Vyadhi means disease. The construction of the body itself is such that there has to be these 4 miseries pertaining to the body we have acquired. It's after all, in the mother's womb, the development of the body takes place, beginning with this very tiny pea-shaped small 2 particles the sperm and the ovum combine to form that embryo, and then it starts developing in the mother's womb and develops into a nice baby, baby boy or baby girl. 9 months in the mother's womb, the development takes place. It's not at all, though it's the most conducive for the development of the body for the child, the mother's womb is most conducive, but it is not at all pleasant. And that's described in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto. What are the conditions inside the mother's womb? Which the child experiences in terms of suffering acute pain. Acute pain. That is a misery of birth. We all have gone through it, but we forgot. After coming out of the mother's womb, we forgot. So, to put an end to these miseries is the mission of human life by following the codes given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. One who knows the codes of Lord Krishna can achieve this end without any difficulty. Perfect life, leading a perfect life is possible by following the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita, in a synopsis, we can understand the codes of Godhead, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the same codes are explained further. Many times Srila Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study of Bhagavatam, or Bhagavatam is the elaborate description of the instructions or the codes given in Bhagavad Gita. In a state where the codes of Krishna are followed, no one is unhappy. Where such codes are not followed, the first sign is that the 3 legs of the representative religion are cut off, and thereby all miseries follow. When Krishna was personally present, the codes of Krishna were being followed without question. But in his absence, such codes are presented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam for the guidance of the blind persons who happen to be at the helm of all affairs. Kalau nashtad drushamesha puranarko adhunoditaha. Bhagavatam, it is said, in Kali Yuga, people have lost the vision of the goal of human life because of the dense darkness due to the influence of Kali. And this darkness is dissipated by the Srimad Bhagavatam, which has arisen like the sun at the beginning of Kali Yuga, to give direction to all those people who have lost the direction for making progress in human life. The 13th verse, Akhyahi Vrishabhadram Vaha Sadhunam Akrita Agasam Atma Vairupya Kartaram Parthanam Kirti Dushanam. Meaning of this 13th verse is, O bull, you are offenseless and thoroughly honest. Therefore I wish all good to you. Please tell me of the perpetrator of these mutilations which blackmail the reputation of the sons of Pritha. Kirti Dushanam. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the reputation of the reign of Maharaj Ramachandra and that of the kings who followed in the footsteps of Maharaj Ramachandra, like the Pandavas and their descendants, are never to be forgotten, because in their kingdom, offenseless and honest living beings were never in trouble. Ramarajya, you have heard of Ramarajya? So when Rama was ruling, everybody was happy. People were getting all their necessities in plenty. When Yudhishthira was ruling also, that was the situation. So there is a correlation between the way a king governs the state or the kingdom and the the codes of dharma given in the scriptures, there is a correlation. Exactly according to the Dharma Shastras, if somebody rules, there is peace, prosperity, plenty of supply, and people will be able to live very nicely. And these are described in the authorized scriptures. How people were living during Maharaj Yudhishthira's time is described in the Mahabharata. How people were living during Ramachandra's time is described in the Ramayana. So you should read that. And they are not just stories, they are not fiction stories, they are facts. That also people do not know. They use the term mythology to describe Ramayana, Mahabharata, our ancient scriptures. But mythology means something which is false, myth, which is imaginary, which is not true. But that is a wrong description of Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Puranas. Mythology is wrong. They are facts, historical facts, 100% true. Great sages performed severe tapasya in order to compile these literatures for the for giving perfect direction to people in general. So they had no business writing fiction stories. They simply documented the facts and figures and the principles perfectly, without any trace of any mistake in the scriptures. That's the standard of these scriptures. When you say Shastra. The bull and the cow are the symbols of the most offenseless living beings. The bull and the cow, completely offenseless. And the value of these animals, Prabhupada explains, is that even the stool and urine of these animals are utilized to benefit human society. No other animal stool except the cow is useful for human society. Even the human being's stool also is not useful. But the cows, cow dung, gobar, gomedhya. So that is very, very valuable. How many ways it can be used. Nowadays, of course, people do not know so much. But if you go to some villages even now, multiple ways they use this cow dung and cow urine. So if the stool and the urine are also useful for human society, how valuable are these animals for human society? You can only imagine. The descendants of the sons of Pritha, like Maharaj Parikshit, are afraid of losing their reputation. When the animals are not protected, they don't think they will be able to retain the reputation of giving proper protection to the praja. But in modern days, the leaders are not even afraid of killing such offenseless animals. So therefore, Prabhupada says, herein lies the difference between the reign of pious kings and the modern states ruled by irresponsible executive heads without knowledge of the codes of God. The ignorance about Dharma Shastra is very, very serious lacuna in modern society. So they can only rule properly if they have proper knowledge. And this knowledge should be based on taking the knowledge from the perfect source, not imperfect theories or speculations given by conditioned souls. No. You take knowledge from liberated souls. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.